Welcome to Haxby Shed. Now if you follow my channel you'll know that recently I've had a really bad cold and I lost my voice and I can feel it tickling even now. But luckily I had quite a few videos already in the can which I was able to put out and keep the channel going whilst I was recovering. This video I took quite some time ago, but it's about this 22mm face mill adapter here, which I got in a job lot. It wasn't quite right. I needed to finish it off because I think it was made by the apprentice. It was a small job which wasn't a small job. I hope you find it interesting. Well, here's the next odd job, and it's not the one in the chuck actually. It's this. So I got this adapter in a job lot. It's 22mm across here, face mill adapter, homemade. No thread in the end, so the odd job is to put the thread in the end of this. But I've tried this in my mill spindle and there's a bit of sort of wiggle on it, and I'm not convinced that they've cut this taper accurately, so I want to double check it. So I've set up this Bristol Ericsson Morse Taper 3 adapter, which I'm just going to take on trust is the right angle. So that's now clocked and set. It does run out by about 1/4 thou. Out of centre in this 3-jaw chuck, but I don't care, it's near enough. I've got the centre in to hold it as well. So I'm going to put a clock on here on the tool holder and just set the top slide across to match this, and then we'll check this one against it. Usual problem, I think it's going to turn into more work than I thought. I've got the taper set, I'm not looking for perfection. That's near enough. Well, when I say near enough, it looks quite good, doesn't it? Now we'll put this adapter in and we'll compare one against the other. Well, it's all right that way, look. But I knew this taper was out. I could feel it rocking in the spindle. It's out by a country mile. So we'll have to remachine that. This is quality material. Make a guess, EN24. Oops. That's not going to do my drill any good, is it? Or my tap, actually. Well, this is too tough. I can't cut it with any of my drills. I've tried a couple. They squeal like crazy. There's no point just ruining drills. So I'm going to have a look at what I have to do to let this down. Heat it up, cherry red, let it cool, anneal it, I don't know. Bit more learning to be done. And it was just an odd job. It's not anymore. Well, next day, I've been thinking about this overnight, and now we know why this was not finished. This is as hard as hell. None of my drills will touch it. So, it must have been hardened, heat treated somehow, don't know how. It's going to have to be annealed. If I can't anneal it, we're probably going to have to trash it, to be honest. I'm going to start by putting this in the air fryer, and I hope I can get it up to about 200 degrees Celsius to give us a good start. And then I've bought these 2 fire bricks. Now they're not actually bricks, They're almost like wood, to be honest. They were £15 delivered. Now, what I'm hoping is, if I can put this in here, like this here in this corner, I can get enough heat in my propane torch, my Bullfinch propane torch, which, at least according to the spec, should be capable. Get it to cherry red, and then just let it cool naturally. Now, if that works, and it softens this, and I can drill it and tap it, I probably won't bother trying to harden and temper it again. I don't think it's necessary. Now, if it's not possible to soften this, then I think it's basically trash, because I can't do anything with it unless I can get it softer. Here we are. You can see it's just about straw colour, which I think is about 220. It's had 20 minutes in the air fryer. There's a little bit of it that's blue, so obviously the air fryer is not a very even heater. Those are got a bit blue, so that's more like 350 degrees. So yeah, anyway, I don't think we'll be making a warranty claim. Can you see that it's red? Now, dare I do this? It's not magnetic. Yay, right. If I put this, what's left of this fireproof soldering rag over there, it might help it slow down, slow down the cooling, I'm trying to say. I was unsure whether this would do it, you know, but I'm very pleased with that Bullfinch. Recently I tried hardening and tempering a tap, well, hardening a tap in free space, you know, hanging up like this, just going at it, and I couldn't get it hot enough, so I then laid it onto this rag, which destroyed this not fireproof rag. But against this corner, this is heating it up really quite easily. So yeah, good on you, Bullfinch. It was quite expensive, of course, relative to, you know, what you could pay for cheap torches, but I think it's worth every penny. And they don't pay me. So you saw how hot we got that, but look at this. It's not much over about, I don't know, 300 degrees, let's say, at this end. If I remember my oxidization tables, blue, or deep blue, is about 350 centigrade, Celsius even. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I'm sure you guys can all work it out. Well folks, this is either success or trash bin for this. Success. It's worked. It's still quite tough. I need to keep this drill bit a little bit cool, I think. Just a bit at a time. I'll drill it down to 40 millimeters and then I'll tap it to about 35. Well, I drilled through with that 7 millimeter sharp drill down to 36. I was aiming for 40, but I've hit something hard. Well, I got this cherry red to about there, and looking at it, 40 is here. So maybe we're hitting something hard again. Maybe I should have taken it red just that little bit further. Anyway, I'm going to use this 10mm drill now. The tapping size for a 12mm by 1.75mm pitch would be, what would that be, 10.25. I don't know if I just need to break through that piece. It doesn't sound good for tapping, does it? It's going, but my goodness, it's creating a lot of heat. I think I might put the coolant on this. Let's try a sharp 8. Oh, it was just that bit that's hard. After that, it's okay. Yeah. Well, I've drilled this 10.3, which should be just about right for tapping size. I've put a 12mm clearance on the front recess down to about where my thumbnail is there, like this I mean, and we'll see whether or not this tap will do it. It's a really good 12mm machine tap, cheap set, but they were excellent. However, I did use it on something that was too tough for it not so long ago, and I don't know whether it's still in business. Let's see. I'll get it started on here, usual way, and then switch to manual, to fully manual. Aye aye, Captain. Oh, I think it's going to work. It's looking good. I think. It's just gone stiff. We'll take it steady. I'll do it off camera. Well, maybe you think this video is playing on loop, but it isn't. This is a few days later. I tried with a 10.3mm hole in there. I tried to tap it, couldn't do it. Tap was jamming up. I bought myself a new inbox, old stock, Presto, 10.5mm drill. Lovely condition. Now, I looked at first for a jobber drill. I don't know what a jobber drill is actually, but that's what I looked at. And I think it was about £7.50, £8 for a 10.5mm jobber drill. That's a bit over 10 US dollars if you like, or maybe €9. And I got this for £8.25 delivered. So it's a lot to pay, I think, compared with what I could maybe get at the Auto Jumble. But I did look at the last Auto Jumble for drills like this. I wanted a 7/16 because I bought a 7/16 actually as well, a bit cheaper than this, but nice one. And they were, oh, I don't know, maybe they were £3, £4, but the ends were all chewed up, the tangs were missing, they were absolute junk. The guy said to me, you know, did you find what you want? And I said, no, because they're absolute crap. And he said, yeah, I must go through and throw some of those away, but he was still trying to sell them. The last time I bought one of those jobber drills, oh, this is so tight, I don't think it's going to work. Oh. Stand by. I don't know if it's my taps ruined already. Oh. See if I can find a sharper tap. Well, just by eye, I've tried to sharpen this tap. So I've just cut down here, look. And I've got plenty of rake on it. We'll see if that'll do it. Oh, I think I might just get there, but this is going to be ever so slow. It is cutting. You know, I bought one of those jobber drills. Well, actually, it was a Morse taper drill, but it was a really good price. But it was like a jobber drill type from somebody like drills.co.uk, and it said on it that it was ground. So I thought, well, it was a good price for a ground drill. This is going to cut. Anyway, when I got it, it wasn't ground at all. It was rolled. So I complained, and they said, "We're ever so sorry, sir, we will send you the right item." So I'd already got the first drill. I think it was a 12mm Morse taper 1, and so the right item arrives, a 12mm rolled drill. I went, oh God, I mean, you sell drills every day and you don't know the difference between ground and rolled, or you don't care. Probably you don't care. We'll get there, I think, with this. Yeah. Now it's been sharpened, it's going to cut. Well, the taper must be about right because I can't get this out by hand. I think we've got one last thing to do now. You see these two driving pegs here? They're 6.4 tall off this face. But this cutaway here is only 6mm deep. So it's riding on the pegs and this face is not getting against this face here. So if I take off about 1/2 mil, that should do it. Now those pegs, when I heated this up, they fell out. I think they were just Loctited in. They certainly weren't even pressed in. Anyway, I cleaned them up and I put some Loctite on them and put them back in, so I'm hoping they're going to be okay. Right, we'll start with a 0.3 cut and finish with a 0.2mm cut. And we're going to put it in gear. And hopefully those pins don't fly out. That sounds reassuring, doesn't it? Well, we're done. So this I had already. I bought it a long time ago with a Morse Taper 3 adapter. This I paid about £4.50 for. I got it in a job lot. I think it was 11 adapters for just under £50, so let's say £4.50. Now, I bought the drill, which was about £8.25, and then I put how much into it? Well, probably 3 hours at least. So was it worth it? Probably it was, because when I look online I can get one of these from you know where for about £38 delivered, which is about 48 US. So it probably was worth it, actually. But it wasn't easy, was it? Anyway. Don't go away, I've got a postscript to show you. Something different. Well, here's the postscript. I've had this machine for about 3 years and I've never knowingly run one part into another with the power feed, but just when I was facing off those two driving tabs for that adapter, I had this tailstock over here and this hit this on power feed crossways over there, and nothing broke, and I was a bit concerned. I thought, oh my goodness, I've shredded a key or something like that. What's the word I'm looking for? Stripped a key. Anyway, there's a clutch in there. Now I knew there was a clutch in there, but I've never knowingly operated it, and I thought it would take a lot more than it does to cause that slip clutch to work. I'll just show you. So just watch that bottom power feed shaft there. And as I engage this cross drive here, turns obviously. Now if I grip it tight, stops it turning. Now I've had all this apart and I thought it took a lot more than that to stop that shaft turning. Very reassuring. Good old Harrison. I guess it's because they used to have so many students crashing so many things into, you know, various bits of the lathe. They had to put that on.